Image copyright Dil Nawaz Pasha. Image caption Muhammad Afrahul is shown being brutally killed in a video filmed and shared by his attacker. A video showing a manning another man to death and setting him alight spread across India's social networks a week ago, sparking shock and outrage. BBC Hindus Dil Nawaz Pasha visited Rajsamand, the town where the crime occurred, to find out what motivated it. "We have nothing to say. Everybody has seen what has happened," says one man, pale-faced and teary-eyed. He doesn't want to be named. He is still reeling from the fact his relative Shambulal has been arrested as the alleged attacker in the gruesome video. The 3-minute clip shows a man screaming and crying for help as he is repeatedly struck with a pickaxe, until he dies. The attacker then sets the body on fire, saying it was a warning to Muslims, India's largest religious minority. "Soon after I entered Rajsamand in the western state of Rajasthan, I realized that everyone there knew about the video. I was told that even children had it." The attacker made someone film the crime on a phone and then posted the video on Facebook. The police later identified him as Shambulal, a Hindu marble trader who is also a Dalit formerly known as Untouchable. The victim was Muhammad Afrahul, a Muslim migrant laborer who had been living in Rajasthan for more than a decade. The video, which was aired on some television channels and shared across social media, has stunned India. The crime itself is distressingly familiar. There have been numerous instances in the past few years of Muslims being brutally and publicly killed. Mr. Lal confessed to the murder in a note, a photo of which he also posted on Facebook. His accompanying message, and other videos shared by him, suggest the attack was motivated by religion. In the video, Mr. Lal warns Muslims, saying this is what will happen to you if you do love jihad in our country. The term love jihad has been popularized by radical Hindu fringe groups, who accuse Muslim men of participating in a conspiracy to turn Hindu women from their religion by seducing them. In a second video, Mr. Lal is seen justifying the attack to protect the honor of Hindus against Muslims. Image copyright Getty Images. Image caption India has witnessed a spate of public anti-Muslim violence in the last few years. Police told the BBC that Mr. Lal had 8 other videos on his phone, in which he railed against love jihad and Islamic jihad. He had already posted 4 on Facebook. But Mr. Lal's family and friends are unable to reconcile the killer in the video with the man they knew. One of his neighbors, who also did not wish to be named, told me she had known Mr. Lal since he was born. "Our Shambhu didn't do this," she says. "The man in the video is not the man I know. The man who didn't have a violent bone in his body." Many of those who know Mr. Lal spoke on condition of anonymity and described him as a man who is soft-spoken and concerned for others. But some also said they had been worried about him in the weeks leading up to the crime. Mr. Lal's business had been struggling and he had been spending a lot of time making videos on his phone, videos on Facebook or WhatsApp that, they believe, may have motivated his actions. Image copyright Dil Nawaz Pasha. Image caption Fake news often spreads via WhatsApp and mobile phone messages in India. WhatsApp, through which videos can travel fast and wide, has been often used to spread rumors and whip up hysteria in India. Earlier this year, messages on WhatsApp led to mobs in eastern India beating 7 people to death in 2 separate incidents after mistaking them for child traffickers. Most of India's fake news spreads via WhatsApp and mobile phone messages because phones are the first point of exposure to the internet for a majority of Indians. When I spoke with a group of young Dalit men who knew Mr. Lal, it became apparent that spurious news clips and videos about alleged cases of love jihad were being widely circulated among younger Hindu men. One of them pulled out his phone to show me a local news story he had received on WhatsApp, which claimed that a Hindu girl had been kidnapped and raped by Muslim men. The story he showed me has not been verified or reported by any of India's established media organizations. "What Shambhu has done is absolutely right," he says. "This is what needs to be done to stop love jihad." Another young man agreed. "When we see such news, it fills us with rage. Why are Muslims taking our girls? Why are they raping them and forcing them to convert to Islam? Tell me, who will accept this?" Image copyright Dil Nawaz Pasha. Image caption This is the room where Muhammad Afrahul lived. This group of men has created a WhatsApp group where they praise Mr. Lal, and also share photos of him stamped with Hindu right-wing slogans. A photo of his, for instance, was accompanied with the message, "Love jihadis, be alert, Shambhu has risen." While many younger men seemed to regard Mr. Lal as a hero, other, elderly men were disturbed by his actions and how they would affect the community. "Hindus and Muslims are like brothers. This shouldn't have happened," one man told me. "People are seeing the video over and over," another says. When I approached another group of men, they asked me if I had seen the video. They were alling the video on their phones. A few miles from Mr. Lal's home is a small rented house where the victim, Mr. Afrahul, lived. He had been doing well for himself and had recently bought a bike and a smartphone. Image copyright Dil Nawaz Pasha. Image caption Many Muslim migrant workers are returning home because they are scared. Inamul, Mr. Arazul's nephew, said he was living in the house with his son-in-law, nephew and other migrant laborers from the eastern state of West Bengal. They are still in shock, but they are also scared and haunted by the video, which they can't seem to stop seeing. It's been over 3 days, and I still hear his helpless screams, says Musharraf, Mr. Afrajul's son-in-law, who has edited the video several times. Look how mercilessly he killed him. We don't even kill animals like this, says Barkat Ali, a migrant worker who knew Mr. Afrahul, as he played the video in front of me. Inamul, Mr. Afrajul's nephew, told me that Muslim migrant workers are returning to West Bengal because they are scared. None of them had heard of the term love jihad until now. We are struggling to earn 2 meals a day. How can we think of love or jihad, says Mr. Ali. Shambhu wanted to kill someone. He found Afrahul and killed him. If he had found me, he would have done the same.